Hi, my name is Madeline Jones, and today I'm talking about why it's so important to consider our future after college, after high school. I think a lot of people my age don't really consider the future. I think that, especially in Brentwood, where I live, a lot of times it's more just pushed. You don't really get to consider whether or not you want to go to college. It's more just where do you want to go? And even then, a lot of times it's decided already by parents whether or not they want their kid to go in state or private. There is a lot to consider, and it feels like most of the consideration is not even really done by the students. This but it is important for students to consider because a lot of times college isn't even the right choice. And if it is, going to a private college for the same quality education that you get at a public one in your state, there's a lot of mistakes that can happen where students end up paying off a lot more debt than they need and end up in jobs they don't really want, whether or not they're making not enough money or they feel like they're giving up their lives to make money. This consideration starts at the interest level. What are your interests? I consider myself a pretty granola person. I love hiking, foraging, sewing, but a lot of this you can't really make a career out of. However, I do love working with people, and I love the outdoors, which has led me to consider getting a double major in both business and forestry. Business because I want to make money, and like I said, love working with people, and forestry because being outdoors really is my passion. It's important for all students to start at this base level and consider what are their interests. However, it's important not to get too caught up in those interests that you fail to consider how you're going to make money and pay off your debts. For example, there's not a whole lot of good jobs that can come with a philosophy major unless you pair it up with medical ethics or something like that. But a lot of people choose this major just because it's what they're interested in. However, especially if you go to a private college for that with a really high tuition, it can be very hard to pay off those loans. It's also important to consider whether or not your interest aligns with a college degree because, as I said, a lot of people can go to trade school and they will make it just fine. If you want to be a hairdresser, you don't necessarily have to go to college to get a degree in something. You can go to beauty school and become a hairdresser. However, I would say that my interests personally do align with a college degree because for business, according to franklin.edu, when you have a degree over just getting some supplemental certificates, you will earn over the course of your lifetime over $1 million more in business. A business degree can increase job prospects, create advancement opportunities, and increase your salary and lifetime income. So for me, I would say business degree especially is the way to go. And forestry also gives me another outlet to have something to specialize in to make me attractive to people who are searching for employees. Forestry experts are in every sector of employment, and this can really help me find specialized jobs in business or especially hospitality, which I want to go into, because I can help the company decide locations to start new hotel chains, decide where to source the resources from, and all of that. So I'd say for me personally, college is the right choice. It's really important to consider which colleges have your field of study because this can affect colleges you go to both in-state, out-of-state if you go private. For me, I'm lucky because my in-state school has my interest. It has a business program ranked number 53 in the nation, and it has a program in forestry to boot. Um, if I lived in North Carolina, however, I could still get by. I could do environmental science, have a forestry for my master's degree, and UNC does have very good college program for environmental science and a business program. It's really important to consider which colleges have interests that are in your field of study because um, there's no point getting into a college and finding out you can't really do what you want to do. However, there is the fact that once you get your higher level degrees, when you get your graduate degrees, it doesn't matter as much as what your undergrad degrees are. So if you do want to go for a graduate degree, it doesn't really matter. I could totally get environmental science for my undergrad and then move on and get a degree in forestry. One of the biggest things to consider is money. Unfortunately, while we would all love to go to Harvard if we can get in, there is a lot that has to do with how quickly you can pay off your loans. Is the payoff for going to a better school really worth being in hundreds of thousands more debt? For me personally, the in-state school I would go to, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, has a tuition of $13,244. Combine that with extra expenses, and for the whole 4 years, going to this college would cost me around $129,992. This is a lot of money, but this is way cheaper than the other colleges that I would consider. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill costs $36,159 for out-of-state tuition, which would come out to over $200,000 once you add in extra expenses for all the 4 years. And Boston University, my favorite private college, comes out at even more than this, with the tuition of $58,072 coming out to a total 4-year cost, included with room and board and extra expenses, of $1,310,648. University of Tennessee at Knoxville, I might have said Kentucky earlier, I'm sorry if I did, but the University of Tennessee at Knoxville costs less than half that much, and especially for an undergraduate degree, it can really get me to where I want to be, has my specialized degrees that I want, and comes out of much less of a cost. I do plan on getting a graduate degree, and when you do that, your graduate school matters a lot more, so I can be spending less than half as much as I would be at a private college for my undergraduate, which is really good because I am very money conscious and I really want to make sure that I can pay off my student loan debt as quickly as possible. I will have help paying, and this is an important thing to consider as well. Applying for scholarships when you're in high school is a really great way to make ends meet during college, whether or not you get a full ride or just a couple $1,000s to help with your room and board and with extra expenses. My parents personally plan on paying half for half of my college, unless I go to an extremely expensive private college, in which case they'll help out as they can, which would really bring my costs down. If I go to especially an in-state school or a cheaper out-of-state school. Scholarships-wise, at UTK, I'm eligible to get $5,000 off tuition if I make the scholarship. And, of course, if I receive another scholarship from out of state, I'll probably do that. And then loans, whatever the remaining amount is that I will have to pay, somewhere around $15,000, I would guess, I will take out loans for that. I do plan on living in the dorms. I plan on having all these extra expenses associated with it, so all this scholarship money can really help out. And it's important for everyone to consider because money is, if you tie yourself down with student loans early, it can be really hard to get out later in life, and you'll be continually paying off all the interest. So in conclusion, personally, I think that based on all of this, what I have considered about my future, in-state school, University of Tennessee at Knoxville, is my best choice. It has my degrees of choice, it has the best costs, the best scholarships, and of course, I love the mountains, and it's only an hour away from the Smoky Mountains National Park. It's important for everyone to run through these considerations, run through this list of questions and others, and spend a long time thinking about where they want to go before they actually get there. Because college, of course, is a financial asset for the most part, but there are a lot of things that can make it not so much of a gift. If you choose a degree that doesn't have good job prospects, or if you go to a college that's out of your means, this can really harm you later in life. So it's really important, essentially, to run through the list and to make sure that you are going to the right college or the best fit college, as there's no really right answer. Thank you for listening.